I don't know, like
It's going to
it's
require.
more like I don't know, like when I'm on my laptop, I feel like I'm doing like work or it's like uncomfortable. So when I have video calls, I like to do it on my iPad with my notebook. I just feel a bit more present.
Yeah, nice. Authenticity is a word that's like come up a lot in your writing. And I would say that when I first met you, you had that. Yeah. And have you had that since you were a kid? Like pretty
Yeah,
authentic, yeah, pretty like straight.
yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
Do you think you know where it comes from?
Um, no,
Parents, upbringing, mentality, a mentor? Did you just have it? Friends? Were your friends
I
always
don't
like,
know. Yeah, I mean, like growing up, my friends were pretty authentic. I mean, like I get, yeah, my parents were as well.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I'm trying to think even just like collectively in Vancouver, how authentic would Vancouver be? How authentic are our friends? How authentic can you become? Are
Yeah.
people generally pretty authentic, or do we put frames on it? Like, what is the and I ask because of meaningful connections being a
Yeah.
right? I'm just like wondering what your pulse on authenticity is. Is it something that we can lean into more and more? Do we have it?
Yeah, I think it's just about again like knowing yourself and then just like
Yeah.
leaning into that, like
Yeah.
just being you.
Okay, I agree. And I think that there's so many ways to know yourself that people aren't exercising. We could
Yeah.
make a bingo list of things that will allow you to learn about yourself that you're not doing. You just have to go through, and if you go through this list and do 80% of this list, you will know thyself. And that could be a challenge. And it's not about right and I don't know, that's very scalable. I feel like it's refreshing. I feel like it's the difference between a course and an experience, which I think should make the transformation. Like you learn a lot and you do a lot of silo work and you do your worksheets, but they're very independent. Same with school. I'm like, why am I not writing a paper for a company? Like I'm writing it in my box. Um, and I think that online courses have hit a wall. Like, I don't know about you. I mean, you buy them from some people that you really trust, but there's a whole lot of them out there.
Yeah.
Course plus experience plus community. Okay, now I'm like, imagine if Mark Groves, and you took his course, you got to go to like 4 events with people who also took the course. That's badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, I want to meet those people. That's probably where I'm going to fall in love.
Yeah.
Right? People who
Yeah.
invested and did the course, and you guys all have common language, and you can always reference a chapter, which allows you to go deeper. Saying that is actually really interesting. I think that is the missing link of our complete, we're learning at a very fast rate,
Yeah.
but we're not integrating the learning
Yeah.
a deep
The
enough.
integration piece. Yeah.
It's missing. So let's like identify that as a problem. I also want to like really make sure we talk about the problems that exist because it's really easy as an entrepreneur to get stuck in like creating a solution that you are in love with, but you gotta like definitely solve a problem. And I do think that we would get you, like, I always think of talking to a room. I'm like, unanimously, do we think we struggle with integration? And the majority of the room being like, yeah, definitely. Like, how many courses have you bought? How many have you taken? How many of you would you say you've integrated? Yeah. Um, and everyone does say, know yourself, go, get that courage. Well, how do you do that? You literally have to go do things that take courage.
Yeah.
That's hard. And what ClassPass did is they actually took a subscription model and overlaid it onto like, you don't have to pick what gym you want to do whatever workout you want to do when you want to do it for a subscription. And they partnered with all of the gyms. And that made it easy to explore. If I was them, I would market explore yourself at the gym. Be a
Yeah.
kickboxer one week and be a spin the next and go to yoga the week after that. It's all in you and it's okay to sample. That's what would my tagline would have been for ClassPass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm almost wondering, like, I'm always looking for, like, again, we've applied these concepts to physical feats. We've applied them to like learning, but we have not yet applied them to like the human community part. We don't really have it yet, which is what I'm trying to touch on with this thing. It's a
Yeah.
subscription that gives you credits to come to a wide variety of fucking things online, in person, and experiential. And I'm just riffing right now again off of like our continued energy and your again dump and this meaningful connections, and that it looks like we're gonna host some kind of event potentially, and I won't limit us, but I'm like, that's probably a very easy one to go for it with some sweet people. Um, but integration is a collective problem.
Hmm.
And I think the excitement of going to experience that is only attended by those who have taken Mark Grove's course is such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
How was your event?
It was fun.
Tell
Yeah,
me
it
about
was
it
really,
all. Okay, yeah, like
yeah, it was like very, it was really nice. Like it was at the convention center. It was huge. There were so many things to look at. Like everything was beautiful. The outfits, like the people, like it was great people watching. And yeah, it was just busy. So my friends with their like views balcony bar, they were like constantly talking with people. And then my friend Scott, like he had his booth set up as well. And like it was just like it seemed like a really good event.
interesting. And did you
Yeah.
meet what was the purpose of the event? To show off what were at the booths?
Yeah, so it's the interior design show. So all the booths have people's products. So it'll be, I mean, there's even like a little kind of market area with like candles and just random things, and then like
Nice.
barbecues and lighting and fixtures and countertops and carpets and and anything sort of interior design. And
Nice.
it was, yeah, it was just really cool. It was really pretty.
Booths. So it's like a internal marketplace where people go shop their stuff and hang out.
Yeah.
Interesting. I always had this idea of going to a conference where everyone has to bring $1,000 and everyone has to sell something. And but it's like services. So I could go booth to booth and have like a 15-minute motivation coaching session. I could go to
That's
the
cool.
next booth and have a 15-minute tarot card reading. I could go to the next booth and have a 15-minute stock market analysis. So service-based marketplace, which I haven't seen. And
Hmm.
matches, because again, I think there's a trend, there's a movement of people wanting to do a side gig that makes a bit of revenue. That's a dream. That is like that would fulfill most of our dreams, our freedom, our flexibility by still having a base. If I was the CEO of a giant company, I would create an internal marketplace for my employees to sell whatever they wanted
Hmm.
percent of the time. And then 80% of the time they work for me. 20% of the time, I'm going to bring them all together. Like imagine if you worked at like Google and you knew there was 100,000 people that shop this marketplace and you could put anything on it within like, I just am like, yes. So I'm going to try to do that on the Fortune 100 side. But again, like just riffing on this event, unlocking value, making it meaningful, making you want to attend every time. Because I feel also like people are very busy and randomness does not work anymore. And I'm not quite going to go to a random event because that's risky. Who's there?
Hmm.
Is that worth my time? Sometimes I will, but will I consistently?
Hmm.
Unless it sticks. Will you go to every design
Right.
convention center? Probably not. You're just going to see. It was cool. Yeah. So I'm always thinking about like longevity. Like, well, for the purpose of this, it'll be an experiment, but just like in the back of our minds,
Hmm.
the aim. Um, yeah, tell me where your head is at after the brain dump and like what you're thinking and what you're rounding out and playing with.
Honestly, I it still hasn't like fully digested.
Yeah.
Scott was like asking me about it last night, and I like couldn't. I was like, I haven't digested it yet.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm excited. Like definitely this whole like meaningful connections is like at the core, and like
Yeah.
how to grow that, how to facilitate that, like what to offer for that. Yeah.
Well, I liked that in your brain dump, you imagined even just an event with 20 people. And when I know sometimes putting two back-to-back meetings, like these are big integrations, they are. So we can take time to like know that. But again, the purpose is like rapid experiment.
Yeah.
Makes
Because
you feel
you don't want to lose like what you're on to. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And you have to go before you're ready for it all to work anyways. You just like kind of got to do something and it can be whatever. It's just doing it. And then it's like, okay, now let's you got to ground truth it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and and we all have that in us if we have relationships, which you are a relationship builder, to call in a card. I'm going to host an event. I'm looking to have this experience. I would like you to attend. It's on this date. There's 20 people. Here's the deal. Be there, right? You and I haven't gotten married yet, so we haven't called in our marriage card yet. So we have some time, you know.
Yeah.
But and so when you place that into my mind, and again, we're just no pressure, we're just thinking about something that we can create meaningful connections with on a scale that feels comfortable but makes us do it. I was imagining a dinner, a very intimate dinner, uh,
Oh.
that was maybe some secret, like maybe you don't tell everyone that's going, but you personally invite everyone like you would like a bridesmaid, and you just say, just you got to show up in your best. There will be a X-course dinner, and the theme is meaningful connections, and trust that I'll have the right people at the table. And the question that I want you to ponder is this based on where you're at, or something.
Mm.
And
Very secret gardeny, like,
yeah,
yeah,
however
I
you'd
feel
want
like
to theme
it's,
it. That's like a
yeah,
very that's just hosting something with purpose.
yeah.
And thinking about hosting that, which would push you to, again, design a little bit of a flow and play with how to make sure that the conversation is super rich and there's something interesting about it and there's an element of surprise. People say what you were saying in your document, what you want. Now you can get more granular. What do people say as soon as they leave the dinner? How does someone tell their friend about that dinner that they went to? What are they calling it? The dinner? Is it at a restaurant? Is it privately catered? Yeah, how do you are you going to turn it? Yeah. Can you turn it into a podcast and a blog and make everyone show the fuck up because you're going to record it? This will be recorded. This is called dinner conversation. Um, I don't know. Right. Here's the play. And again, no attachment because you could do 10 dinners this year if you wanted. All different. And the goal at the end of the year, again, is just a little self-contained project that is something that you are excited to see all the way through, and that the design of it allows you to hit the things that are important to you, which might be an equal percent of practicing creating value and creating revenue. And we'll like value what's the most important. Like I'm hosting a retreat in a week and a half, my first women's retreat, and my goal is to break even and make myself go through the motion of the first hosting in preparation to do this quarterly eventually at this price point. So I'm like going through the motions and thinking about it and knowing that that was going to take a dedicated percent of my brain, but that I'm breaking even this one. And so I get to use the money to make it the best. I'm like, okay, let's bring in a barista. Let's get a good Airbnb, whatever. But my intention was like a contained project, all part of a master plan, of course, that I always think about, which is like 10 million connections. And I'm like, how could I scale this globally? But my task, and I'm noticing I had 4 women sign up right away at first, and then it was like stale. Now it's a week and a half away before the retreat, and 4 other women signed up. And I was like, okay, that's
Oh
how
man.
it is. That's how this world is. And you got to expect it and you got to know. And that's an experience. That's like, cool. I got
Yeah.
value and lesson already. And again, just sitting in my head, designing it in my free time is powerful. And when I'm
Yeah.
driving, I'm thinking about how to host those women. When I'm, going to sleep, I'm thinking about like the flow. Um, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to have enough space to like create something that you're proud of, that hits some things that allow you to move more into the life that you want to design, keeps those doors open. Yeah. So hopefully that like brings it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, have you ever been to an invited only dinner? Wow, that's exciting. Okay, that makes me happy. Um, interesting. Very interesting. So maybe we should take like 30 minutes of quiet just writing time or like some 20 times. I just want you to like play with hosting a dinner. You have that list of people already too, and I just like really want to think about that. And sometimes you want to intentionally leave some people out on the first one too.
Yeah.
But think about walking in to whatever you're imagining. I'm gonna set the timer for like, I don't know, take 15 minutes to start and we'll check in if you need more time. But just start thinking and just check in before we do that. Does that feel like something to worthwhile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
want you to do another brain dump. And I want you to answer similar questions as we did before, a little bit more granular. Okay, what do people say after the dinner? Um, what is the purpose of the dinner? Is there a theme? Again, is it at a restaurant or is it at a home and I'm renting a chef? Or is there something I haven't thought about? Uh, yeah, how would it feel for you to be invited into this to make you be like, I feel special? If it was delivered to you, yeah, what you'd wear. Even. Yeah. And feel free to like scan your brain of all your relationships that you've built and what resources they have so you could use their business in some capacity potentially as well. Does someone have a rooftop? Does someone have a restaurant? Can you do something special based on the relationships you have? Cool. Those good enough starting questions to start. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna set it for 15. I'm gonna go make a pot of tea.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, enjoy.
Sorry, I just had to go to the washroom.
Oh, no worries. I was like,
Okay.
1 minute, how's it coming?
Yeah, so a few different things. So I feel like I don't know where to start. So like I want it to be like like kind of like a mood. I don't know. Like I want like if
Okay,
there's like invites that go out, I want them to be like a special envelope with like a branded stamp. 'Cause I feel like that makes people feel special and it's more unique.
yeah.
Um, Definitely want the feeling of like exclusivity and like element of surprise and like not really sure what the night will entail. Like different themes for each dinner. I was thinking maybe like a special guest that is shared to get interest.
Okay.
Um, Kind of on theme. What you'd wear, I'm like either something like whatever you feel like most authentically you in, or like what you'd wear to the last dinner on earth.
Ooh.
Kind of like that one better. Uh
Wow, that's a lot. Interesting. Cool. Okay, yeah.
yeah. And then like I kind of had this idea of like, people are at a table, if we're talking about like certain topics that are uncomfortable, maybe you're blindfolded in that. And then it kind of went to like masks, like maybe
Oh,
everyone's wearing a mask.
okay.
And then at a certain point, like at first I was like, okay, like, and then people can take off their masks whenever they feel ready to.
Hmm.
Or there's like a point in the night where it's like, okay, everyone take off your mask.
Okay.
Um,
Reveal.
and yeah, I'm like maybe 12 people. Um, and yeah, there's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a icebreaker of like something like never have I ever, just to kind of get to know people. And then like the rest is sort of like I really like the idea of um like sharing in a circle, like really like
Mm,
everyone engaged, like kind of how we did at the leadership retreat where we went around and said, something that we're grateful for. Like I do
yeah.
that with a lot of my friends whenever we go on trips and we
Mhm.
have dinners, we'll go around and just say like it's kind of like our gratitude circle.
Nice.
And I really like that. So I think that like I'd want that sort of element where it's not just like people are siloed, it's more like everyone sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how far I got.
Good. Good. It's like coming alive. I can like see it. Did you see where it would be hosted? Like if there's in a circle, is it in a home or is it in a restaurant?
I think in a home.
Home. Okay.
Yeah. I have a friend, I just don't know, like she travels a lot, but she's
Mhm.
got a gorgeous place in West Van. She's
Awesome.
also a chef.
Whoa. Awesome.
Yeah, so
Partnership
I don't know,
100% right there.
yeah, if I could like do that, and I feel like she'd be interested potentially.
Um,
I do like the idea of like an outdoor one eventually where it's like in someone's
Eventually.
backyard and there's like tiki torches and it's just kind of like not
Cool.
scary but like kind of like I don't want to say witchy but like just
Yeah.
kind of sets the mood. It like even if it's indoor it's like dark with candles so it just feels more warm and
Love
like
it.
less like spotlight.
Yeah.
um
Ooh, very good. Already seen now a series of you have creative control to do whatever kind of dinner with 12 people and make it something.
yeah.
There's room to do that. It might be a little bit too cold to do it outside this round, but I think the
Yeah,
end with the apartment and the private chef is like a nice way to start. That's a great way to start.
yeah,
Keep these ideas flowing. Keep practicing. Like sometimes even birthing the concept of you hosting 5 parties in Vancouver at some point is enough for you to like, oh, it's just so deep. It's nourishing. That's like you can dig on that and mull on that and brainstorm about that and see things about it and think about your network in a different way. And just go towards that. And that's just already by itself, full stop, amazing. So few people do that. How many people host 5 intentional dinners in their lifetime? Is that
Yeah.
funny? And what I'm also seeing again is like a way to even give you more freedom and flexibility as you build up your reputation as a pre-buy 5 dinners for me this year. And I will invite you to 5 things. You'll get an invite to 8 things. You get to come to 5, whichever. But you have to upfront pay me, 500 or 650 for the year of privatized dinners, even 1,000 someday. And you can always increase that price, but you'll like start. Maybe someone gives you their subscription to ensure that 5 times a year you get to dress the fuck up and go somewhere cool and meet interesting people and have an element of surprise. And we're going to have to build in again, who are the people at the table now? Who is at the first table right now? What themes do they have? What's the range at this and other ones? And what should it be? And I'll tell you about a company in New York that ran really well. This is pre-COVID and I haven't followed up, but they did stranger in the house invitations, and you would go to a house with a dish and you wouldn't know anybody. And you would have a dinner. And that could be one of the themes. And you could just play with all these different ideas. But that was and they made it into a software like Airbnb, where if one night you're like, let's go to a random dinner, we're just going to walk into a house. Everyone was verified, right? You are the verifier, but you can call the invitations however you want to. To the opposite side, I've also in Austin got invited to a dinner series that I got to meet investors that invest in companies that are raising between 500,000 and 10 million. Exactly. And that's very purposeful too. Very different
Yeah.
experience. Right. And I probably like thinking about like those are 2 very different business models, but can also be mixed. And it's again the both different feelings. Again, just like feel into the one that you want to do, maybe the 5, and potentially a continuation if you wanted to think about it bigger, of what elements of surprise there are. What does the word on the street become? Could this become a special thing? Like, those things in New York that float around, it's like white dinners where everyone shows up in a special place.
Yeah.
Don't know the place, what is, so now let's dig into the purpose. So we're starting to get like the theme, which women always tend to start with the feelings, which I love. And now let's go backwards as to like the purpose besides meaningful connection. Let's drill down a little bit more. Let's talk about who's at that table and why they should be at that table. If there's a need, is there a problem out there that you need to bring these people together, or do people just need to have an experience? What does that invitation say? And for the first table, who is at that table?
Yeah. Like I almost like I like the idea of like uncovering like truths.
Oh, love that.
Um so I don't know if like a Mark Groves,
Yeah.
I mean like he could be for sure. Um I don't know. I don't know who else.
Uncovering truths opens up your opportunity to bring whoever. Okay, so now it's like,
Yeah.
now the theme doesn't matter if it's Mark Groves or not. Mark could be there or not. I don't care if Mark is there or not, because I'm going there to uncover truths. If I was going to a dinner to partner with the city and think about how to make Vancouver more fun, you could also host a dinner about that. And you could be like, Mark Groves, we need you at the table. And we also need this politician at the table. Now that's a different intention. And now again, maybe we're getting known as bringing people together to do things that we think are important in ourselves and what we're noticing in our city if we stay in the city. And again, we can write themes. Uncovering truths is the perfect first launch, I think, because then it's anybody And
Yeah.
all I know is that I am going to have this space. And here's something that it solves that it immediately gave me a feeling of, anyways, was like, sometimes I can't uncover my truths with the people around me. Sometimes I need
Yeah.
to do it with a group of strangers. Um, Workshop it. It's safer. You can go so far sometimes when you don't know other, anyone. And it's and the masks work with that too. And then there's like, I think that there's also just an equal opportunity that is like, I am going to bring together 10 people around the table and talk about how we can make Vancouver better. I'm going to host that conversation. What theme does that conversation have? I'd probably be like, yeah, downtown apartment, private chef, paper invite. You've been chosen because this is a purposeful conversation and you have an opportunity to make it better. There's been 10 other people like you chosen, and I'm going to run this dinner and we're going to walk away with some insights about it, and I'm going to blog about it, or I'm going to podcast about it, or I'm going to do something about it. That's a very purposeful dinner. Uncovering truths, also just different purpose, right? So I'm just going to cut different purposes for you too, to know like, yeah, how to, there's an amazing book you should read. It's called The Art of Gathering. It got really popular. She's got a TED Talk if you want to watch her TED Talk first. And it is basically a manuscript she has hosted. She'd be a very good TED Talk to watch. Watch that. Yeah. She's hosted like so many events around the world and writes her insights about the art of gathering. If I was her, I would have taken my book and taught a course about how to get everyone to do 10 events with my principles.
Yeah.
But maybe we could do that. Like, again, I really am starting to see flashes. It can go so many ways. And again, it's open, but like, could there be a different type of service in Vancouver even where I get to go try here's okay. So we've got the group dinner vision. I'm going to put that here and I'm going to present a completely different idea. And I'm just going to see how that one plays too, just to play with the levers to know how granular we can get. But would I also buy a ticket, or could we sell a ticket that achieves meaningful connections and interesting facilitation by being like, I'm going to set you up on 4 dinner experiences just with strangers and let you guys run it. So you'll get a note. You have to meet at this restaurant at 7 p.m. Wear this. There'll be 4 people. Go to the table. This is the theme. Could I also run like multiple these around the city? I'm not sure. Or yeah, one has like you at the center facilitating to start, and one has you in the behind the scenes facilitating. And I'm already feeling like, what, yeah, where's your gut? Like,
The other one.
the which one?
Like the other idea, like where I'm there.
I feel the same too. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Even as I was saying it, I was feeling the other one, facilitation, being there. Do you imagine, okay, let's go the lateral way. 12 people at a dinner in a Vancouver apartment with a chef. 100 people in an event space like a conference, for interesting 90-minute experience.
12 paper dinner.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we've like dialed in that, then perfect. And this is like, it sounds like this is what we're gonna host. When you think of hosting one or multiple, what feelings come up?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of multiple,
Cool.
because
So
I
yeah,
like it's good if people, like if it's really great and then there's something to look forward to. I also like the idea of like who, like, here's the next theme, and for them to almost have like an input of like, who do you think should be at this dinner?
add the next one.
And that sort of again like gets
Cool.
people
And
excited but also like involved in
that,
curating a bit.
nice. Okay, so ending awesome. So now we're like, okay, it's a pilot that's going to lead into, you're gonna do your, what do they call it when people do their first look or the store opening or like the book reading? It's like the inaugural kind of thing. Um, and making sure that we're prepared at that thing to present them the vision for the next 5 and get them to answer something so that they're invested in the next one already. Yeah, okay. So pilot into a series. So we're doing a series. And this project at the VIP day will be to execute on the pilot. So I almost want to say, do you think we can commit, and we'll keep rounding this, to having the invite sent, the place located, the type of dinner, your clarity around what this is, and yeah, have it it's planned, the invites are out, it's going to happen. Yeah, could we do that in October? What would you do that before? What's the fastest that you do that? How much time would you want to give your participants in your brain?
I feel like at least 3 weeks. End
Yeah,
of October is Halloween, kind of tough. Like
yeah.
maybe like beginning of November.
Okay. Okay. All right, project manage this a little bit. Before the launch. How I want you to be able to neutralize the investment in the VIP day. Would you feel, how would you be if you were invited? Yeah, let's talk about payment. Like, let's talk about the investment in this type of experience and relating it to others and how you would deliver that for this first one. How much the ticket to the design conference was, like 30 or $50? How would you, if someone presented this to you, how much would you expect to pay, or like want to pay, or like be like, that's good? Like, how would you market it back to yourself?
Like depending on maybe like who the guests are, and like if I know that, like I like if I'm just going to a dinner, I'd expect it to be like 150 to 200
Yeah,
bucks.
yeah,
So like somewhere around there, I think.
yeah, I think so too.
And then like maybe the subscription is more, like maybe it's more,
It's a
but like
hundred
it,
dollars a dinner if you subscribe, maybe.
yeah,
Come to individual ones, it's 150 or 200. Maybe we can go with the 175. If you're a member, it's $100 a dinner. And you just have to now learn how to coordinate using your resources to make sure that the cost is less.
yeah,
And so how much does it cost to rent a chef? Can you partner with chefs to be like, listen, I do series. Can you do a rate at this if I book 3? We can start to work with those numbers. So let's say even the average cost in the future, because we have range to work with if we increase the price to 150 or 200. At 100, if the average cost is 100 and we have 12 people a night, it's $1,200 a dinner. So then now you just like, right, pretty simple. We just have to figure out, ideally we want to give you 500 minimum, or the first night again you break even and you just invest in it and you just have fun with a $1,200 budget and see how far you can take it and learn a bunch about that.
yeah,
And you again price it at 200 maybe, because we can always work down and be like, it's 50% off, it's $100. This includes an X course meal and a night of, and then we'll fill in those gaps. But let's just do so. So yeah, that's 4,800 for like 5 dinners. So just about 5,000. Um, with again, I think well, let's just focus on this first one because that's all we want to kind of do. We just want to break even. We want to do something really cool. We want to learn if this is something we're going to lead into the next one. Yeah. So, okay. So now I think we'd have to invite, if we think of the people to invite now, does your list change? If I was to now, like, let's make a list of 25 people to invite, or 20. Can we write that list and write it is there a way that you'd approach that? Would you tell a friend that they can bring an invite? Um, if it's uncovering truths, do you want to make sure that you're inviting people that you're like they're comfortable sharing their truths first? Do you want to like tell them what is the yeah, let's start to imagine like how we're gonna get 12 people at this event and who they are.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking of like friends of mine who are like definitely on like healing journeys. Like I know, well, I mean, there's just yeah, I don't know like how to go about the invites, like depending on what it is. Like, because I know like my friend Lara for sure would come, like my friend Natasha, um, maybe my friend Rashenda, but like I know there's other people that would be interested, but just wouldn't want to spend the money. Um,
Are you sure?
I don't know. I mean, well, one of my girlfriends is unemployed, but yeah, I don't know if my cousin would do it. But I mean, like, again, like if there's certain people there that could make it feel a lot more beneficial.
Okay. Okay,
Like,
that's
I'm almost
good.
thinking, like, not like a spiritual guide, but like someone who's got that sort of presence, and then maybe like a Mark Grove. Like, how do we even get a Mark Groves to come to this?
Mark Groves would be, I don't think you can get Mark Groves to come to the first one of this if it's this series.
No.
What I think you can approach Mark Groves with is like, do you want me to do this for your community? Let's talk. Let's go for dinner. It's a very
Yeah.
different approach,
And
right?
then also I'm like, is this too small scale? Now I'm like, oh, what could this like 100 people conference look like? But
Mm, mm. Okay, interesting.
because like
So
I love the idea, but I also need to be like I need to create something that's gonna make me money
that will
also.
come. That will come if you do anything well. And right
Okay.
now, the goal is to experience what you can do well and see what the market will invest in and how long it takes to make that revenue. These are all tests that you have to
Okay.
explore if you want to make revenue on your own. Scalability will come for sure. Right now, we need like product market fit and to run an experience for you to step into it too. So breaking even for a first project with the knowledge that you will walk away from that, knowing how much time and energy went in, what your margins could be, and if you did 10, if you could handle that and everything that came with it, then you start to do the financial model. Do I want to put myself
Yeah.
into this? Yeah. Um,
I yeah, because I know like I feel like this is something that I could do really well. I'm just struggling with
selling
what
tickets.
is the what is the content,
Yeah.
and then who is going to be there, because that like
Yeah.
whatever the content is or the meeting
Correct.
will dictate the
Hey,
people.
yeah. What do most of your friends need right now? Do they need jobs? Do they need opportunities? Do they need a date? Do they need to meet new people and get inspired? Um, what what are they the people that are closest to you? And that's just one question. The other question is to go back to the list that you wrote and be like, could you go invite all these important people just to a dinner and be like, I'm bringing all the most important people in my city to a dinner and I want to have some comfortable and uncomfortable conversations. And would they come? It's $100 that'll cover all the food, and I'm gonna rent a place, and I think it'll be worth your time. I'm just breaking even. Then there's purpose, then there's intrigue, then you can still do it well. But then yeah, then once we look at who's in that room, then we curate what we're gonna do with the questions and that. Um, so it seems like we'll have to do a little bit of thinking about who is the dinner for? Why would they pay to be there? What's the pitch to them? And what do you feel comfortable asking for the first one? Um, my well, what I've noticed about people is if you intentionally invite someone with a purpose, if you go out and you have a really clear idea of the 20 people that you want to invite, what you want to do with them, and you go ask them, they will show up. because it's outside and it's applied and it's like, huh.
Yeah.
And I believe in Natalie. And it doesn't have to be your friends. You can invite your boss. And be like, I'm trying something. It's my thesis. I need you to be at this dinner. $100 covers everything, and it's going to be an X course dinner. And I'm gonna get you to do something fun. You know, that's that you can go with that too. It
Yeah.
doesn't just be like it's for you. It can be just for you. This could be your birthday, you know, like you're doing a different kind of thing completely. You get to experiment.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it would be good, prudent to think about how to invite people outside of your friend network too, like people that are you look up to in Vancouver that could be allies, people that own stuff, people that could work together. How could everyone at the dinner walk away a little richer, both in money and in feelings and connection, and feel more at home in their city? What are all those things that bring that together? And this is deep, like this is deep thinking. But it's just like sitting back and imagining which people in your network to put at a table for an experience.
Something kind of keeps trying to like creep out, but
Okay.
like isn't quite getting there. But it's like
Yeah.
I just keep envisioning like Scott and like Lara and Natasha, and
Okay.
they're all so different.
Awesome.
Like Scott, but all of them are very rooted in like meaningful connections and like community and like deep conversations and authenticity. Scott is like, 5x startup entrepreneur. Lara, like, she's like doing mushrooms every weekend and working in tech, but like just has so much personality and ideas.
Cool.
And then Natasha is like was a lawyer, and now she's
Um,
she was a nomad for a couple of years, and now
yeah.
she wants to create something as well. So it's almost like, could
Awesome.
there be an aspect of it where it's like, hey, we're just like people who are entrepreneurial and also
Yep.
all have the same goal of like
Yep.
wanting to make the world better
Yep.
with the lens of deep and meaningful conversations. Let's see what we create, or like let's
Yep.
see like what.
Awesome.
And then that makes it easier to think of people to invite
Awesome.
as
Really good.
well, that
Uh,
aren't in my friend group necessarily. Like it's just those people I know, but I even know like Mike, like I haven't seen him in a long time, but he's also an entrepreneur and like very different from those three people as well.
Megan.
um Megan, I know Vahid would come as well. Do you know Vahid? I don't know if Megan and Vahid are still. So Vahid was on Megan's board of director,
Oh,
and he was like a mentor of mine for a while.
cool. This is what I think there's more purpose in this. Personally, I like love thinking about not just random, but this is okay. So the commonality right now is people who want to create and people who could create something really cool if they knew each other. And we're just gonna have like if I was invited as a startup founder, I might find a partner, I might find an investor, I might find a conversation with a future partner in this room. I don't know, but it's going to help me create. So you are all building sweet shit. We're gonna put you in a room because everyone in Vancouver that's building sweet shit should know each other. And it's $100 to cover the cost of a 5-course meal. It's on November. Da, 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 da. I've invited 15 people and I only have spots for 10. Please RVSP before this day. I'm working on a series that gets people with big ideas, strong values, high integrity together regularly. This is my first one. It's gonna, yeah, like something about that, like there is like this untapped, you're gonna gain an edge by being here at this table. And that goes back to like you're going to meet people you don't normally cross paths with, but if you did, there would be a ripple. Yeah. And I think that's what this, like, that's what Meet the World, that's what I'm all about, is like, it's not just meeting random, it's meeting that person that, like, when you put me in a room with entrepreneurs, I can go and I get a lot of value out of it. I think entrepreneur could be the hashtag. It's the people who have stepped on this side into creation mode, because that in and of itself requires a certain amount of growth and understanding and level up and the ability to connect and all those things. So you're not going to get creators are able to create always. Put two people together and we're already brainstorming about like we're creating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's easy to guide. That's now you've got a purposeful way to guide the conversation. The invite makes perfect sense. This is like a business expense, but it's just private. And then maybe again, you become known as, and I want you to put a lot of thought into like, what do you want to become known? What are these referred to as? It's like, I will always go to these dinners, just like I'm going to always go to this Utah retreat, because every time I do, I unlock a new revenue stream. I unlock a forever relationship, and I unlock like a deeper understanding of the resources I have every single time without question. And I have fun because the people are sweet, because my curator picked mission-based founders that are into outdoor activity. That means everything. See, it sounds like you're picking like people that are doing sweet stuff with personality in a different way. And that invitation is fun. You guys are all like, even just if I saw a list of not even the people's names, I just thought there's going to be a 5X startup founder there, someone who does mushrooms and tech,
Yeah.
turn nomad, I'd be like, okay, I need to be in that room. That's a different room. The room. Yeah. And then at the bottom, it says private chef inspired meal by this chick that started her own side gig. That's awesome. In a Vancouver apartment overlooking the view. Private dinner series. And again, then that, what do they call it when, not when you push, but that cut off, like I've sent 15 invites only. I have room for 12. The date to attend is this day. And again, we can use Typeform, we can use Pick My Brain, we can use a ticket to collect whatever you want to collect the data and the reviews. Make it so easy for them. And then we start thinking about the curation. Oh, should we put these people in a WhatsApp group before the dinner and ask a few questions? Can you poke right? So when they get to the dinner, they've already like WhatsApped, and then the WhatsApp group deletes after, because you want it not to be heavy. That that's they can connect outside, whatever, but little things like that you'll be able to design. But it's feeling like we're honing. And
Yeah, and I almost want like not like a retreat feeling, but I want there to be something
yeah,
in it that I don't know how this is possible, but like something that they haven't done before,
yeah,
um, that is unique and gets them thinking in a different way and really being like, wow, okay, that was really cool.
yeah. Okay, here, this is okay. And again, if you want to, again, open to partner on this at any time, open to let you do this totally solo. I would want them to leave. Yeah, like, can you write something at the end that you're going to walk out with a Google Doc or a list of like some actions of one thing that someone's going to do for someone in the room? Even if it's like, I'm going to go for dinner with Jonathan before December. I'm going to go visit Megan's office before February. I'm going to send that TED Talk to Natalie that she needs to watch. And you walk away with a piece of one action.
Yeah.
And it could be that's special. And to me, that's like this continuation. And again, in the marketing, you're going to walk away with either your new favorite book, your new best audio podcast, another follow-up or dinner date, a business relationship that's blooming. It's not going to just unlock, but it's going to set the cadence to unlock. The room is powerful. The room is entrepreneurial. The room is connected. That's all you need to know. Do you want to be in the room? And maybe, yeah, you become known for putting together a great room. And again, now your relationship building, now I'm like, okay, if we go down that farther, I'm like, your job becomes to connect with the most connected people in the city. and get a
Yeah.
roster of them so that sometimes you can bring, right? And that's what I do with Pick My Brain. I build a directory. I'm like, Vancouver needs a directory of people. So I can be like, I want to have a coffee with the mayor and tell him an idea. I should be able to do that as a citizen. He should have like 1 hour or 5 hours open a month to at least talk to people that, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I go down like soap, but we've got longevity of opportunity available if you decide to go further. But right now, we're hosting a powerful dinner with entrepreneurial minds that are going to co-create and in their own design, something also that uncovers secrets about entrepreneurship too. I don't know. 12 spots, $100 for this first ticket. And you have to decide by this date, and you could put some of the information of all the 20 people, the tags of the 20 people that will be in that room. Yeah. Now we've got like a container, and then we've got an expected revenue of $1,200, and we have $1,200 to budget. And now I want you to use your relationships to keep majority of that 1,200 in pursuit. Like I still, like I will go ask Airbnb, like I just did this. There's an Airbnb I want here. It's perfect. It was a little bit outside my budget. So I messaged the Airbnb. I'm like, I'm bringing 8 women for this creator retreat, and I'm going to do this multiple times. I love your place. I'll probably rent it again. Can you give it to me for this price? Everything is a negotiation. And maybe your chef friend, again, guys can find a line, something. And so try to at least, use all the budget to make the best.
Yeah, like I feel like I just need to figure out, yeah, like what she would charge for her chef
Yeah.
skills, and then
Plus
hope that like just hosting it there for free.
yeah,
And then
perfect.
also like, yeah, because
Cut it in half with her. Then there's no worry. I'm gonna only make $1,200 if I sell 12. If you bring a person, that'd be great too. You can have 2 invites to the room. And you get 600, I get 600. And now now you're partners, and you could go forward with that model, and it's fair, and that includes food and presentation and place. And that's like I love 50-50 deals because I don't have to think about them again. They just feel right off the bat. And if I scale, I'll never, yeah, don't scrounge now, just enter partnership. So it makes sense for her and you, and it's a good deal. Because after that, your costs are like basically nothing.
yeah,
A little bit, but not a lot. And it shouldn't be a lot. This is about the connection and the
yeah,
experience, your time. So now you're pocketing $600, and you've got a range of 600, and you've done 1 dinner. Perfect. I'd say that's good. You've like unlocked $600 for your friend. You've unlocked $600 for yourself, and you're bringing a room together, and you've created $1,200 of revenue with a specific invite. There's enough value there to work with later.
yeah,
Yeah. That makes that project successful. So let's just, hone in on that. So that's good. We've got our model. I think $100 is so fair, especially like just $100 to cover the cost of the 5-course meal and private chef and
yeah,
location. We'll send and just have a really cool way. And now the brainstorming starts, right? And then we have to work backwards. Okay, what's the date of the event? So November something. When do we want to send invites out? Let's make the list of people make that list 20 deep that you think with an 80% certainty they're going to say yes. Talk to your friend, lock that in on the date, get that organized, make a deal with her right away. If you want to plant a little vision in her head, this is something I might want to do again if it works really, really well. You have total creative control. What are you workshopping right now in your own chef experience? Empower her, practice that. Cool. Then you've got your foundation started. Yeah. You pretty much, yeah. And then once you got that, then starts the just identification of how the evening will flow and end and begin. In there, you could read The Art of Gathering or watch the movie and get a sense of like, yeah, beginning, middle, end, following her framework.
yeah.
And now you've got time to do it. And if it goes so well and 20 people want to, you do 2 dinners now. Now we're going to host 2 of them
Yeah.
at the same time. Maybe you sell all 24. So maybe we make a list of 30 plus people, and you could just do 2 rounds so that you guys get really good practice. You make 1,200, your friend makes 1,200, and you get to run it twice because there was enough interest. That's possible too. And I do love doing things twice. It's kind of nice to run through them twice. You get a little comfier with it.
Yeah.
And you notice a lot. They always say when you're a bee, when you take care of bees, you need to have 2 hives so you can
Yeah.
sense the energy of both and like understand. And you could invite people like Corey Dalton. Like think
Yeah.
deeply about your diverse network, not just friends. Let's dig
Yeah.
into business owners, musicians, people that are doing online stuff, nomads. Yeah, the ones that are weird and need to meet
Yeah.
and don't get to. Yeah, cool. How's that feeling?
Good.
Yeah. Keep imagining it. It's like the best thing I think I could, and they say like scientifically too, and I do feel it. Like if you visualize it a lot, it's the same as you doing it, like
Yeah.
almost. Isn't that crazy? That
It's
stat should
crazy.
be embedded into our brains all the time. We should be telling kids that all the time. Imagine, imagine, imagine. And like imagine a world where, that's why I always start with like imagine if these dinners were everywhere. Imagine if as a citizen, if I was the mayor, I'd be like every citizen in Vancouver gets an invitation to a few dinners a year where your opinion, will be council and you get matched with people in society because we want our city to feel like home. They don't do any shit
Yeah.
like that. Nobody knows, nobody does.
No. No.
So I think we get a cool, and again, you could always invite a photographer to both and cut their ticket price in half. I just did that. I brought it. I was like, come to the retreat, Suzanne, and I can hook you up with, yeah, I'm sure you know photographers, but come to the retreat. If you take pictures, I'll discount. And I always just go 50-50. So there's no feeling either way. It's just partner. That's my
Yeah.
rule. I've really learned that. And now again, you're feeding the ecosystem. And when you go through this, just keep thinking of your values as the person that's the facilitator. You want to create as much benefit for as many stakeholders as you can in alignment with your mission and vision. And just keep going through the night and be like, where else could I unlock value for people? Can we get the food from the local? Can the person that we're getting the food from come to the party? Can everything that's at the party be attended by someone here so that they get recognition? Is the dessert that we're inviting someone that I could get to know and invite to be at the table? Oh, and tonight's dessert is by. And then you just go deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's like a very conscious, aligned event. That's fun to write about and talk about. And maybe we call Vancouver Hive to talk about it too. Maybe we do
Yeah.
a star piece after, right? And that'll come once we get the foundational pieces set. Those are all fun to think. So you want to free up as much time as you can for that stuff and just
Yeah.
get foundations agreed. So again, let's make a list while we've got the last bit. Let's just like project manage this a bit. You're the project manager in the relationship. I am the visionary. So let's think about, I want you to write a list of like when you're going to talk to your friend, when you're going to get that done. I want you to make a list of 30 names and I want you to pick the date. I want you to look at your calendar right now and pick the date. Yeah, let's get those locked down. Let's do like 15 minutes of like project management shit now. That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say
Um,
and be available.
maybe November 11th. That's Remembrance Day. November 4th.
Not bad. I mean, what do people do on Remembrance Day? Maybe that's a cool day to have it, but November 4th also works. Yeah. Okay, so Saturday. And
Yeah.
maybe both. Maybe reserve both, right? Because if we sell 20 tickets, we need to do 2 dinners. Let's plan like we're going to sell 20 tickets. And we're going
Okay.
to be very happy if we sell 10. Yeah. But why not? Let's invite 30 people. and see what they say. Cool. Okay. Um, when will you call your friend and talk chef dinner creation? I want you to think about that conversation. Tell me a little bit about this friend.
So went to high school with her for a bit. Knew her
Okay.
sister in college, reconnected with her like a year ago. So we're not super close, but we've like stayed in touch on Instagram over the last year and just been like motivating each other with workouts.
Cool.
And she works, she's like a yacht chef. So she works on yachts for periods of time, and then she was home house sitting. And so we just hung out and caught up, and it was really fun. And now she's gone. I don't know how long she's gone for.
Okay.
Um,
On another trip.
so yeah, so I'm thinking of just reaching out to her and saying like, hey, I have like an interesting event idea that I'm trying to plan, and like, can you give me a call when you're free?
Cool. I am already feeling like she's a great match design wise because she's already a flexible schedule and she's
Mm,
used to getting paid per day. So here's where you can learn more as well, depending on your vision. If you want to partner with her specifically for 4 events, then you go the 50-50. If you want to
mm,
partner with her once or twice, you ask what her day rate is on the ship and you pay her more. You say, okay, is your day rate 350? Is it 500? Is it 1,000? That's good information to know so that you can, again, optimize her and the business's margin. Your job is to do both. And that range will change depending on if it's a one-time relationship or like 4, 10, 2 years, you want to go all in on this across the city, because that could be a good partnership too. A chef
yeah,
and a facilitator partner up. And again, does that allow her to, what is the most important thing for her right now? Is it to flex her creativity? Is it to have, because she probably has some creative freedom on the yacht, but probably it's also pretty standardized. Where is she at in her career? What does she imagine for her career? Have that conversation with her first before presenting the idea, and gather as much information as you can about what's it like on the yacht, how many meals do you create, how much are groceries. Learn about this process a little bit, because then you can use that to, again, identify the most amount of value that can be unlocked between the two of you. Yeah. And again, always coming back, like, I just want to run a pilot to start. I think it's gonna be really fun. Do you want to do the first one with me? This is what we're gonna
yeah,
do. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. So yeah, putting a little bit more thought into that relationship, that potential, that vision of partnership, what that does for the brand, what that does for the reach, what that does, all the things. That's great. Um, 30 people on an invite. Do you want to just spend 10 minutes just writing names right now and go range? Like, I want you to just dig bosses, employees, favorite people, owners of restaurants, people you kind of know, friends of friends. Write a list. And we started, but those are influencers, and we'll come back to those ones. I think they'll be on the invite, but do you want to spend like 10 minutes writing just like brain dump of 30? Okay, I'll set my timer.
Wow, this is hard.
Hard, like to find the numbers.
Just yeah, just like thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah. Feel free to pull up your LinkedIn. Feel free to
Yeah,
pull
I
up
might
your
have
phone
to.
and feel free to pull up your Instagram. Very helpful. Yeah. Go through the follows. That'll help. And it helps you kind of extend outside your immediate network, which you're going to have to do. How's it coming?
I need four more names.
Nice. Cool.
It's coming. Okay.
Matt? Hey.
Oh, I'm missing one. Fuck. It's okay. Um, okay, so some of them I'm like not sure, but
Okay.
so Scott, that guy that I dated that I talked about,
Yeah.
Stacy Marshall, my friend Lara, my friend Natasha,
Okay.
um, Ben Carr, who's the owner of Innovative Fitness in North Van.
Okay.
Um, I know like he's very entrepreneurial. I know he was a part of like Landmark. And
Yep.
he does a lot of like retreats and I don't know, I think it'd be
Cool.
interesting.
Yep.
I put Megan on here.
Good.
This guy I worked with, he's in cybersecurity at TELUS, but he's also trying to start his own business. Um,
Cool.
uh, Threw in a DJ. His name's Man Keen.
Cool.
Um, there's this guy who is friends with one of my friend's brothers. His name's Teo, and he's like very hippie and does these like crazy journey hikes by himself.
Cool.
I think he'd be interesting. Amanda Lee, she's like a friend of mine, and she just became a life coach. Freddie, he has his own recruitment firm. Um, Brent Price, he owns Hustle. Um, Really cool guy. Just think he'd be interesting. It'd be cool if I could get either Jess or Emily. I worked with them at MRI. The only problem is like they don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
Emily's in Vernon,
Okay.
so it's potential if she's coming down here.
Yeah.
Um, Mike Plum, who's like a friend of mine who has a couple of his own businesses. I tried to get people that don't know each other, but these two people know each other. Cam Poulter and Travis Franklin. They've been kind of like over the years that have reached out to me to see if I want to partner with them on like
Mm.
a recruitment arm of a business. I put Vahid, he knows Megan. I put Peter Smotris. He was a client of mine. He also knows Vahid and Megan. Um, Cam Laker, he owns Minefield Group. He's an interesting guy. Um, Alexis Teep, she was a personal trainer. She also knows Brent, and she does something in finance now, like super entrepreneurial, like very go-getter.
Okay.
Um, my brother's ex-girlfriend,
Oh.
she doesn't like have a business, but she's super creative. Um, then her boyfriend Kevy, he's in a band. I forget what it's called. It's something like Shark or something, and he's pretty famous. And so I'm like, maybe like I don't know, like get someone kind of creative in there.
Yeah.
Chris Emmons was a client of mine.
Well,
He worked at like what was it called? Fleet management.
okay.
Um, Nick Kopakov, I went to university with him. Smart guy, super fun. He's in sales, but like over the years, he's been trying to launch like a fitness app.
Mm.
Um, Jason Smith, the CEO of Clue, I love him. He's awesome.
Mm.
Um, I can't remember her name, but Heather, who was at our retreat, is she still part of Rising Women, or did she?
There was a fallout. I
Yeah,
think
because I went on the website and I was like, what? Like,
it
where is
was
she?
happening when we were there a little bit with her and the leader. They butt heads of it and like
Mm,
ownership. And I think it just ultimately, I'm from the most part, I'm sure there's a story, but it's just
damn.
hard. That's so hard because it really like,
Yeah. What is she
yeah,
doing now?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you know her last name? Is it like,
Heather Emerson? Heather, no, not
I
Emerson.
can't remember.
Hold on.
Anyways, and then there's Paul David Askew. I went to high school with him and he has a couple of his own businesses. I think he was even on like Dragon's Den.
Oh, cool.
Sean Mazes, he was a client of mine. I don't know what he's doing now, but he like has his hands in a few different things. And then Nico Thomas, I met in university, and he has a couple of businesses as well. So I feel like it's like a good mix
Badass.
of like people that may know each other or do
Yeah.
know each other, like similar industries, different industries, like some creatives. I
Yeah.
wanted to get a chef in there.
Yeah. Okay. So foodie. Um, that's a really good list. And one of your pieces of homework is going to be to digitize that list in an Excel spreadsheet and to make it relational. So when I say digitize, you want your name in there, you want their hashtags, a few hashtags that you can commonly use, whether it's entrepreneur, CEO, building. Build a column that allows you to utilize this list and keep track of it when we sell tickets, and a list that's like who should talk to who. because of what. And just reminding yourself of your story, because your job is going to be when they come into the dinner to make sure everyone knows a little bit. Like if conversation is ever, be like, Fahid, tell me about the time you were at to the table. So we'll just build this directory of your network, which is a great asset to sit on, just like your network of books as well. Because that list right there hypothetically could be your entire clientele for your side gig. If they decided to buy 5 dinners, because you did a good one, you've got a chunk of money now to or a business, a viable business. But and again, the value will become in your ability to integrate make the room unlock. And you can preemptively work on that. And don't ever count it out of the equation. I have flown somewhere for a dinner before. So Emily coming, like you can expand a little bit and that makes it even more. Today we have someone who drove in for this event because at these events, typically lots of revenue is unlocked, investment is unlocked, partnerships are unlocked. So keep an eye out of that through all of these conversations. I've brought this room together because you guys are all inherently entrepreneurial. And then just in the back of your mind, if there's someone starting a fitness app, of who to connect them with at the table. And when I went to this Utah retreat, the facilitator, one thing I really like that he did is like when I was hiking, he's like, Max, when we're on the hike, on the way up, you're going to talk to Mike. On the way down, you're going to talk to Yana, because I want you to talk to these 2 out of these 12. And go a little bit above and beyond. And that really did, again, unlock more. So one piece of homework, and I'm just writing a few of the homework down for our next kind of like step. So we've landed on our event. Bravo. Nice job. Yes. In 4 hours, we did it. Totally legacy, totally scalable, totally in alignment. Just keep making sure it's fully in alignment with you. And we've landed on dates, November 4th, November 11th. We're going to do this. So the homework is digitize that list of 30 in a way that makes you forever be able to optimize and grow on it. Have the conversation with the chef, find out as much information about her dreams, missions, visions, and like at the end of that, in your brain, make an offer and know that it's going to be one of two. I'm going to pay you more than your day rate, or we're going to go 50-50 in this first event, whichever one you think. More visioning, right? Just keep imagining this, like keep writing descriptions down for it. Keep thinking about what they get. Keep thinking about why you would want to attend this one and 3 more because of what you're able to say that you unlock. And start to sketch out the invite as well. Because this is going to be you inviting everyone one-on-one. We're going to think about how to make sure that everyone gets like a couple touch points from you. And we're going to go, and okay, there's another column. I'll add that to the homework. Another column on the list is like, should you DM that person? Should you call that person? Should you go for coffee with that person to pitch them this idea? And I'm going to be like, do 3 coffees or 3 to 5 coffees, like make the time, plant this idea and this vision and get someone rallying for you. Pick the ones that you're going to DM, pick a few that you're going to call. That's very intimate. That's special. And we'll think of the script after, but so a column, because you got to warm these relations up again, of how to reach out. And then we'll have to think of the digitization of how you want to present, how much information you want to give them and how to get their word of commitment, whether it's just a text, whether it's a type form attached with $1 and the type form makes me intrigued, whether it's something else. Think about that invitation. And that's good. And I'm going to get you to project manage this for yourself and this next batch is going to be you and me in WhatsApp making this event come to fruition. I mean, we can hop on, but we're going to like project manage this on demand. And you're going to project manage it, something you're very good at. And yeah, the things to be imagined still, how to reach out to these people, how often you're going to reach out to them, the dates that they have to get back to you, how you collect payment. And then I want that to be at least 2 weeks before. So the 2 weeks leading up to it, and you'll have last minute people for sure, know that, but the last 2 weeks, you're like really just getting to think about the food and how the night is going to go and the lead up to it, which gives us time. We've kind of got like October to go invite and warm up these relationships. Yeah. Intentional. And it's going to really help to have that list color coordinated how you want. How warm are they right now? How warm do you want them to be? And
Mhm.
how can you plant a little bit in their head? And thinking about already the next event, how can you be like, do you have 3 people who would absolutely love this as well that you can recommend? Think about those interviews too. It's a little bit more thought, but we're like, we've got the shape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
cool. All that homework is listed in your VIP session notes. So
Perfect.
feel free to use that. And then again, we'll just DM it and keep going. And I'll keep checking in and make sure, like, just keep checking with me every time you make an action to making this more real. Feel free to just sometimes voice, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about them coming in the door and this happening. And reflect on the conversation you have with your chef, relay those, and we'll just keep narrowing until we launch our event on November 4th and 11th. I would also like to be on that list. I'd like to come.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'll be your
Yeah.
first paying customer. I'm totally in. Yeah, I would love to come. And I would love to go through the flow first before, I'll be your guinea pig. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Good. Good session. Good work, girl.
That's
Um,
awesome.
very powerful creation sessions. We did it. We like came to the thing very,
Yeah,
yeah.
very good.
Cool. Okay, well, integrate away, let it seep in, and I'll see you in the WhatsApp channel. Let me know if you need anything.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll keep
Okay.
you posted. Okay.
Me too.
Have a
Okay, I'll
good
talk to you soon. You
weekend.
too.
Bye.
Bye.